The most common way people work on their self-esteem is through achieving more and more external success. Now, this kind of success doesn't just come automatically. It takes some work to get. There's a lot of doing and performing involved. So on the surface, this method can appear like quite a positive thing, but it's not. In this video, I'm gonna give you 5 reasons why you should stop doing more in order to be enough. Hey you guys, this is part 3 of my video series on identity and worth. If you haven't seen part 1 or 2 yet, make sure you go check them out as well. And if you find this topic and other topics around mental health interesting, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Alright, so let's talk about the top reasons why you should stop trying to create your worth through achieving more and more external success. Number 1. It's just another coping mechanism that gets in the way of you actually facing your anxiety around not being enough. When it comes to resolving our anxieties, in most cases, as uncomfortable as it is, we should expose ourselves to the thing that gives us anxiety. So with something like stage fright, even if we perform poorly, we should push ourselves to go in front of people more and more rather than quickly find an escape. It's through this kind of exposure that we build up our tolerance for all the discomforts around being in front of people. In the same way, if you've got anxiety around being yourself just as you are, you should allow yourself to be just that without any added bells or whistles. But decorating yourself with all kinds of medals is doing the opposite of that. Number 2. The contentment that you feel after performing well does not last for a long time. Sure, you might feel better about yourself immediately, but that feeling wears off quickly. It won't be long before you feel discontent with yourself again. If your sense of worth is built on achievements, you'll always be lacking and you'll never feel like you're enough. And that's because of number 3. It's unstable. Nothing external is really stable. Your performance can't always just go up. You might be at the top one moment, and then in the next moment, someone's taking your place. You might have a nice job, a nice house, and then because of things outside of your control, you could lose it all. And no matter how much effort you keep putting in, the various life events that make you question your worth that I talked about in my last video will still happen. So if your identity and worth is built on all these external things, then your view of your own worth is likely to fluctuate with all the ups and downs that take place externally. Now, if you put 1, 2, and 3 together, what you've got is something that can potentially be quite addictive. So that's number 4 on this list. This way of coping can be addictive. The addictive pattern of this coping mechanism goes a little something like this. First, you feel bad because you believe you're not enough, so you push yourself to perform. When you do achieve success, you temporarily feel better about yourself. That's when you get your high, but it's not enough. So shortly after, your thoughts and your feelings around not being enough return. So again, you push yourself to perform. And the cycle repeats again and again and again. And it can get to a point where you feel enslaved by this cycle. This kind of enslavement takes shape in the form of workaholism and perfectionism. You end up doing because you have to, not because you want to. And you end up having this unbalanced, tunnel vision focus on achieving success that it can cause you to neglect other essential parts of your life, like your health, your relationships, and even your integrity. That's right. If you're in a very competitive industry, the higher you climb, there's going to be more added pressure on you to achieve success in ways that may be morally compromising. Powerful stakeholders and gatekeepers with questionable values may dangle in front of you promises of greater success. And if you're addicted enough to this pattern, and if you've already compromised a lot of your integrity, you'll keep on caving in and being taken advantage of by these wolves. In the end, sure, you might gain some external rewards going down this path, but having compromised so much of your integrity, you may actually end up hating yourself. This is a huge problem in Hollywood and other super competitive industries, but in its early stages, this is an addiction that's not so easy to spot as being problematic. And that's because it can just look like being a hard worker. And number 5, you'll see the world as one big competition for achievements that are scarce in supply. This outlook on life strips away the grace you could be giving to yourself and to others, and it negatively affects the way you see and treat the people around you. While others get to enjoy the freedom of a more carefree kind of life, where they don't need to think about how the rest of the world is performing, you're more likely to obsess about who's winning and who's losing, while others get to save their time and energy, not even thinking about it. You'll waste more of yours judging yourself and others. For those of you in this race who feel like you've worked hard to get to where you are now, you'll be more likely to look down on others who appear to be racing differently than you. Some of your favorite lines may include, "They're just so lazy," or "They've just had everything handed over to them on a silver platter." If life is a race to you, any kind of talk around life being hard is gonna appear like a complete waste of time. I mean, go and look at a literal race, like F1. How much do you think these F1 racers are talking to one another during their race? Not much. Similarly, in life, you'll be more likely to stuff down your own stress and pain in order to just focus on getting ahead. And if anyone dares to open up about their difficult times, you'll be more likely to shut them up, invalidate them, judge them as being weak, and tell them that they're just wasting their time complaining. You'll also be more likely to look at people as competitors or means to get ahead in life. In this whole pursuit of getting ahead, some of you might even go as far as getting married to someone as a strategic move. Some of you men out there believe that a wife is just meant to be your cheerleader, an assistant who should take care of everything else that's not directly related to you advancing in your race. So things like taking care of the children or doing things around the house like cooking and cleaning. Some of you expect your wife to do it all so that you'd be free to spend all your time just building yourself up. And should your absence from home ever become an issue, at some point, you'll probably use a line, "It's for our family that I work this hard." It sounds all nice and selfless, but it's selfish. Okay, now what about when people appear to be getting in your way in this whole race? Would you treat them differently? And the answer is a big fat yes. You're more likely to be a hard ass on anyone who gets in your way. And you'll learn that you're not a very likable person. Not as a parent or a spouse, not as a friend, and certainly not as a boss. But like so many others who believe that they're running in some kind of race, you'll try to convince yourself that none of that matters, that you don't care, because after all, you're too busy winning in your mind. Thanks for watching, you guys. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up. In my next video of this series, I'll be sharing my personal story on how I worked on my self-esteem. So make sure to look out for that. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you next time. Bye.